So, hi friends. Till now, we have discussed that why we scroll, the science behind scrolling, and how is it affecting our day-to-day life, the impacts of social media. And hopefully, you have completed your worksheet for chapter 1, module 1, and module 2. Now, coming to module 3. Now, module 3 consists of triggers and patterns, that how we start picking up phone. Like if I have to pick it up, okay, okay. So how basically we pick up the phones. So very good evening, friends. Continuing our session. In previous section, we have discussed about why we scroll. The reason, the loop of 5 minute scroll, that when you start just scrolling just for 5 minutes and you do not know that hours passed. And then we discussed about the various facts that how social media is affecting us, how social media is impacting us, what are its ill effects on our sleep, anxiety, depression, our relationships, even our productivity, and even loss of money. And friends, I hope that you have completed your assignments of both the chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now we are in the module 3, and module 3 consists of triggers and patterns. Now ask a question that if you have picked the phone, okay, so we need to understand what triggers me to pick the phone. Friends, please keep in mind that social media addiction is not a random thing. It is driven by psychological triggers that compel us to scroll endlessly. Research shows that people don't use social media just for entertainment, but also for three things. First, boredom. Second, emotions. Third, social pressure. Let us take example of a story of a girl, Sarah, who is 26 years old, and she loves Instagram. Whenever every morning she get up, she picked up her phone instinctively and start scrolling even before going for washroom. When she tried to cut back, she analyzed that she opened social media when she was in stress. She opened social media when she felt lonely. She opened her phone without thinking why she opened the phone. So Sarah was just not using the social media, she was using it as an emotional crush. To regain control, Sarah needed to identify her specific triggers and patterns. So with the help of Sarah, we will also try to find it out, our triggers and patterns for picking up your mobile. So understanding this, I will start with first, what is a trigger? Triggers are basically events, emotions, situations that prompts us to pick up the phone. Triggers are of two types. First is external trigger. Second is internal trigger. The external trigger may be notification, messages, trending topics, and internal triggers may be boredom, stress, loneliness, and insecurity. A study has been conducted by Harvard University and they found it out that the triggers are the strongest drivers for social media use. Now coming to emotional triggers. No, so we need to find it out what is the root of this addiction of picking up the phone. Major we have discussed first is boredom. So whenever we feel bored, we pick up the phone. Exactly, we are not knowing that why we are picking up, but whenever we are having a lot of time and we are just traveling or we are just sitting, when we have nothing to do, we pick up the phone. Studies has been conducted by University of Chicago in 2020, and studies concluded that 80%, how much? 80% people pick up their phone when they are bored. When they are bored. And social media provides instant stimulation. What provides social media? Social provide instant stimulation, making the real activities dumb, dull. The second reason was loneliness. So now, friends, we all are working and sometimes we all are away from our homes. And then we feel loneliness. So many people use social media just because they feel lonely when they come back from their job, their work profile. However, studies shows that if you are using excessive social media, instead of removing loneliness, it is giving you anxiety, it is giving you stress, it is giving you dullness. The third triggers is anxiety and stress. Now, what happens is that suppose my boss has given me some task to complete. A task is very much difficult, and I know I'm not in a mood. So I just want to escape. So what I will do, I will just pick up the phone and just start scrolling because that task is difficult for me as of now, and I don't want to complete it. So I am using this social media only as an escape. Now, what happens, friends? Suppose I started using my mobile phone, okay, and I am using it. Is my work is to be done by someone else? No. Now work will be pending. Now, what will happen? It will lead to stress. And whenever we are stressed, how we are going to perform? So whenever want to escape something or whenever we are stressed, we also pick up our mobile. But it is not solving any real world problems. The fourth reason why we pick up our phones is FOMO that we have discussed earlier also, fear of missing out. 56% of social media users experience this FOMO regularly. This was study conducted by in 2021. And this fear leads to compulsive checking behavior. Compulsive checking behavior means you need to pick up your phone and see what is the latest, what is the latest. Oh, what's in the market? What's in the friend circle? What's with the colleague? What's with the family? And also, suppose if I posted something today and if I posted something today and I'm seeing how many comments I am receiving, how many likes I am receiving, so for checking that, I'm just picking the phone. And now what happens is that when I pick up the phone, Just for checking this, I don't know how much time it's gone. I picked up for phone only for checking, only for validating, only for seeking acceptance from people that how many likes I got, how many comments I got. And I don't know how much time it has been wasted by this. So we need to identify triggers. Charles Duke, in his book, this Power of Habit, in his book Power of Habit, told us that why we are doing something doing. He told us the automatic habit loop. Now, suppose I'm feeling bored. So I pick up the phone, open Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, any social media. I am using it for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, and I feel entertained. I feel that I have achieved something, I have learned something, dopamine hit. Now, these three things, first was triggers, then we pick up the phone, and then the reward was dopamine. So when the same thing is being repeated again and again, the same thing is being repeated, it becomes our habit. And then we are in automatical habit loop that whenever we are feeling bored, we pick up the phone. Whenever we are feeling stressed, we pick up the phone. Whenever we are feeling lonely, we pick up the phone. Whenever we have posted something on social media and we are seeking validation, we pick up the phone. The study conducted by this psychological science in 2022 found out that social media is habitual. Social media is habitual, not intentional. Social media is habitual, not intentional. So, what we can do to stop this automatic habit loop? So, for that, we have to track our users and identify the triggers. So, for identify triggers, we will be completing one worksheet. And for tracking users, okay, we can have first the step is awareness. So for awareness, first we will be tracking our this phone social media users. For iPhone users, this screen time in iPhone is already available. You can also use digital well-being or any other apps. Friends, if I have to tell you a truth, the truth is that most of the peoples exactly don't know. Most of the peoples exactly don't know how much time they are using in social media. It was a long back. I also used to think, oh, I am spending half an hour, 1 hour. It does not matter. It is okay if I am using for half an hour, 1 hour. But when I started tracking friends, when I started tracking, do you know what was the results? Instead of half an hour to 1 hour, my users was 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. This was my users of per day. And if we calculate, it is 28 hours in a week. Now, in 28 hours in a week, suppose how much activity, how much productivity I can do on, and I wasted time in it. So many users underestimate their time. So your timeline tracking is most important thing. Also, we can use this tool as a social media journaling. So when you use social media, you can track. It was in morning, lunch, evening, after lunch, just before bed. What triggered it? You need to ask yourself what triggered it. It is boredom. It is stress. Is it FOMO? And when I pick up my phone, you have to see how much time I have used it. How much time? Suppose 10 minutes, mention it 10 minutes. If 30 minutes, mention it 30 minutes. And also, you need to plan that how much time you have planned to pick up and how much time you actually use. Suppose I plan to pick up that I will use social media for 5 minutes. And actually, how much time you have used this for social media, you need to write it down. Example, maybe Monday morning from 8 to 8:30, I used Instagram. Why I used? Because I was feeling lonely. The third method is pause. Third method is pause. Third method is pause for 5 seconds and ask. And ask what needs to be asked. Okay. Why am I opening this app? Why am I opening this app? What do I hope to get from it? What do I hope to get from it? Is there is a better way to get that need met? Is there is a better way to get that need met? This breaks automatic habits and will increase your mindfulness. Now, the fourth important thing we can do is notifications, because notification is a, I will say, the strongest trigger. When there is a notification turn in your mobile, you pick up what came, what came, what came. Oh, and you picked up your phone for just one notification and you don't know how much time is gone by. So, what is a notification? Notification is an artificial urgency. So, what we can do about it? We can switch off or pull off this notification or set notification only at the required places or required apps. And the fifth part is your environment. One simple thing is that, friend, if the phone is on your study table, on your office table, on your bed, you are definitely going to pick it up. Second is when you open your phone to take a call, okay, and after that, what are the apps which are on your home screen? If your home screen is showing Instagram, any social media app, remove it. Remove it. So in this module, we understand that what are emotional triggers, boredom, anxiety, loneliness. We need to track our screen time and social media and pause before you open this social media. That why you are picking up. Ask yourself and reduce notifications by restructuring your environment. So friend, in this worksheet, we have to ask some questions to ourselves. The questions are, what emotion do you feel before reaching up your phone? What emotion do you feel before picking up your phone? Is it was boredom? Is it was stress? Or is it was loneliness? At what time mostly you pick up your phone? At what time you pick up your phone? And what specific apps consume your most of time? What specific apps consume your most of time? The fourth question is there is any particular situation when you pick up the phone or when you are using this social media excessively? And fifth question is, have you ever used social media to escape from stress or difficult emotions? And then we need to have one tracker that you can just make it on your notebook. You can make 4 columns in it, that day, the time spent on social media, what was the emotion before using media, and what was your emotion after using media, and last but not the least column, what made you to open it? What made you to open it up? Also, you can use this 5 why methods. This 5 why methods. Ask yourself 5 times. Ask yourself 5 times to get to the root cause that why I am in this habit, why I am in social media habit. We need to trigger, we need to trigger mapping. Trigger mapping means we have to write it down that what was the emotion when we pick up the phone, how was the feeling, and how we was feeling after usage of this social media. And we can also need to plan that what are the alternative option or healthier option that are available with us, which we can use it for as an alternative. Suppose it may be deep breathing, stretching. So this will we will be discussing in our next class. And last but not the least, in the exercise or in our worksheet, you need to identify one major trigger that you to need to immediately work upon. It may be boredom, it may be loneliness, it may be stress. You need to identify it and you choose one alternative action, only one alternative action. Suppose if you are feeling stress, okay, it's better you go for deep breathing, stretching, just go for a walk. This may be one alternative. So you need to find it out, the other alternatives available with you, and how you are going to perform well. So friends, I'm expecting you that you will complete this worksheet and will create a plan to cope up this social media impact. So thank you very much, friends.